Hey, what's up and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Naturallykimmie, aka Miss Kimmy, and today's video is going to be completely different than any video I've ever done. Today I will actually be doing a story time slash, I guess you can call it a mukbang, because I'm about to eat all these peanuts here. So this story here basically is about my weekend, which was a family reunion weekend. So it ain't gonna be what y'all think, but you'll be able to tell by the title. So let me jump right into the story. So every year, our family, as most families do, have family reunions. This year was no different. It's usually Friday through Sunday. And, you know, Friday being formal dinner, Saturday being cookout, Sunday, church maybe for some, or either we meet up at my uncle's house and we, you know, eat again, have a good time till it's time for everybody to go home. Because most people don't live here in this state or a city, which is fine. So this year, the family reserved like 10 rooms just for our family alone at one hotel. And I always ask, like this year I was asking, okay, what's the name of the hotel? What's the name of the hotel? Nobody could tell me. Okay, cool, whatever. So it got down to like the last week before the family reunion, and I was like, okay, well, look, I know we go to the same places every year, so I'm gonna find a hotel closest to the place that we go to on Saturday, which is a park. Okay, cool. I go online Monday, find the hotel. It's like 20 minutes away from the park. Cool. I book it. I don't think nothing else of it. Okay, so Friday comes. I pack up the car. We get on the road. It's like a 2-hour drive to where we were going. I get there. Now, yeah, I get there. There's only 3 other cars in the parking lot. And the parking lot is super small. So I'm like, okay, this is a little sketch. And it's right by the overpass, the highway, all of that. It's right by that. So I'm like, I don't know. Mind you, it's me and my girls. So I go in, the lady at the front desk, you know, cool little girl, cool little chick, you know. She checked me in or whatever. I got my room key. Everything was cool. Like, we had a nice little conversation. You know, she was telling me about how, you know, all the things we could do. The pool was open and all that stuff, whatever. I didn't care about the pool being open because me or my girls can swim. So I didn't care. Okay, so cool. We go on. I go and get my girls out the car. We go in. Get settled into the room. Now, when I walk into the room, I look around and I'm looking at the ceiling and everything like that. On the ceiling, you can tell that somebody recently had a party in there because there's still tape and parts of streamers on the ceiling. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I will say I was happy that my room was down by there was nothing next to my room. It was just like the staff closet for, like, you know, extra towels and stuff like that in there. And that was cool. So, and let me remind you, let me throw this in there. I was on the 6th floor, room 612 to be exact. I was on the 6th floor. Okay. So we're just, you know, spending time in there, cool, whatever. But like I said, I was looking around and I noticed a couple of things that kind of made me second guess this. Once I went and sat down on the bed, that's when I started looking around for real. When you look out the window, I told y'all, I was right by the overpass. When I look down, it's a train down there, but there's also a lot of trash underneath its bypass. So y'all know where I'm going with that. I didn't see anybody down there, but I'll get there. So the day is going on because we checked in like around 1, even though check-in was not till 3. So we get there, you know, we're looking at, I'm just looking around. In the room where the smoke detector is, it's a, the smoke detector is not exactly covering the hole. Right. So then I keep looking around, I noticed that the closet does not close. I was like it looks like it's off the hinge, but it does not close. I was like, okay, that's sketch. I go to the bathroom, look around in there. The shower head, you know, the silver part, circle part that's up against the wall. It wasn't up against the wall. It was just an opening hole right there. And I'm like, okay. So then, you know, later on that night, my sister, one that y'all be seeing in a lot of my, that you have seen in my other videos, just Miss J, she came over to the hotel. And she don't like elevators. I don't like elevators either. So I went down there and got her when she pulled in. And she came upstairs. We got on the elevator. She was like, I wasn't sure if this was the right place because it looked kind of sketch. I said, I know. She said, but I didn't want to judge, you know, where you were staying. I said, don't worry. I'm judging it myself. So, time goes on. We're sitting in the room. I was like, let's order some food. So I ordered something for DoorDash. It took forever. About like an hour for them to finally bring me my food. But with this hotel, you had to go downstairs and pick up your food. They don't deliver your food to your room, or they won't allow it. So that was fine. So while we're waiting on the food to come, I get on the phone with my mom. So I'm on FaceTime with my mom, and me and my sister and my kids, we're just talking to my mom. So I'm watching, you know, my phone as well on the app to see when my order is coming. I see my order is on the driver. My DoorDash driver is turning in. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and head down because, mind you, I'm on the 6th floor. So I go down and I go to the elevator, get on the elevator. This is where the story takes a turn. I get on the elevator and I go down to the 6th floor. I mean the 1st floor. And there's a family downstairs. Mind you, I'm not really listening to anything they're saying because, one, I'm still on FaceTime with my mom. So I'm not listening to whatever they're talking about until I hear the lady say, I just want to switch rooms. She was like, but can I get any floor but the 6th floor? My antennas went up. I said, Mom, let me call you back. I hung up. I hung up with my mom, and I'm listening to the lady at the desk. Mind you, this is about around 9 o'clock at night by this time. So the lady that checked me in is not there. It's a whole new lady. We're just gonna call her Messy Karen. Or, nope. Yeah. I ain't even call her Messy Karen. We're just gonna call her Messy. So, the lady, the family of the other guests, she was like, can I get another room, any room on any floor but the 6th floor? And so she turns and she looks at me because her and her family are discussing whatever happened on the 6th floor. And so she's like, because that room that I was in is haunted. So I look at her like, huh? She's like, yeah. She's like, there's a whole lot of extra noises, you know, in the room. She's like, we don't have nothing on in there. It's just quiet. Because mind you, okay, it's her mom. I'm guessing it's her brother, her sister. And then there's like a 5 or 6-year-old with them. And so she's like, yeah, the room is haunted. And I'm like, what you mean? And she was like, I'm going to let you listen to this recording. Yeah. She brought me the recording. You know, she had it on her phone. The noises that you hear on that recording scared the mess out of me, y'all. I'm telling you. She said, there's a, if you listen closely, you can hear a baby crying in the room. She ain't got no baby with her. And the only other person with a kid on that floor was me. She was in room 602. I was in room 612. And like I said, she's on one end, I'm on another. So there's no way you heard anything from my room because, one, my daughter wasn't crying. So now I'm really like spooked out about what's going on. And then so she's like, yeah, you can hear a baby crying in the room. There was somebody laughing. Like she said, like if you listen to the recording, there's nothing on in the room, but you can hear a whole lot of noises. And I was like, oh, no. So then the messy lady at the front desk, here she go. She's like, well, I'm not really surprised because we actually do have a haunted room in this hotel. And it's room 311. All of us look at her like, huh? She's like, yeah, we actually have a messy, a haunted room here. The guests that we give that room to, we don't tell them that it's haunted, but we give them that room, and they'll always call up here to the front desk asking, did you guys call up here? Did you guys come by here? Like different things, asking about stuff. And then she was like, yeah, because somebody actually died. Somebody actually died in that room, so we believe it's haunted. And she's like, well, not believe, we know it is. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there. You know I'm a black. You see I'm black. I don't play that. The family that she was telling this to as well, that was already complaining about their room was haunted, it was another black family. Yeah. So she was like, the other guest, she was like, can I get another room? On any floor. She was like, yeah. Let me see what we got available. She get on her computer. She started looking, y'all. Mind you, I'm still standing on there because my order's supposed to be here. They said they turning in, but they ain't turned in yet. So I'm still standing there waiting. So I'm waiting and waiting for my food. And she's the lady at the front desk. She's looking in the computer for another room for this lady. She tells her, the only other room I have that'll accommodate you and your family is room 310. Now, didn't I just tell y'all that room 311 was the haunted room? She was like, yeah, I can give you 310. And the lady looked at her, and she looked at me. And she looked back at that lady. She said, 310. She was like, yeah. She's like, it's right across the hall from the haunted one. She was like, yeah, I'll have to think. Let me think about it. So she's like, let me ask my mom. We'll think. Let me see what she say. Because her mom had stepped out by this time. I could already tell on her face she was not about to say no more. She was like, she was over it. So I was telling her, I was like, look, I said, I know how you feel. I said, because back home, there's a certain hotel If you know where I'm from, you know exactly what I'm about to tell y'all. Unless you ain't never been there. On our Welcome Center exit, there's a hotel that I stayed at. And it's the same brand as the hotel I was at this past weekend. That hotel was haunted as well. And I say that because this. That night when I went to sleep there were no lights on in that hotel room. But why could I still see shadows, like full-figured shadows? There's no light coming in from outside. Like the curtains are closed. And I was already a little scared at that hotel because when I went in the bathroom, I'm telling you, when I took my shower, I didn't close the shower curtain. I didn't close the door. Like, something about that hotel just spooked me out. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And it's funny that it's the same name as this hotel here that I was staying at with my girls. So anyway, I'm telling the lady downstairs about that hotel. And I told her, I said, look, the person that I was staying with at the hotel, I was like, look, I don't care. I'm ready to go. They was like, but it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. I'm going home. I don't play with that kind of stuff. That's not me. I don't play with that. So, my food finally shows up. And I'm getting ready to head back upstairs. And the lady was like, the other guest, she was like, well, you have a good night. I said, oh, I'll try. So I go back, as I'm going upstairs, I text my sister, my mom, both my sisters and my mom. And I told her, I said, I'm about to check out. And I meant that. I go back upstairs and I'm like, I'm looking at my sister. She said, what you about to check out for? And so I tell her what the lady downstairs just told me. Mind y'all, yeah, my sister's just as scary as I am. So we sitting there like, yeah. Pack this room up. Let's go. Like, my two of my daughters didn't understand why we were leaving. But my oldest, she heard me say what I said, but then she was like, what you said? So I explained it to her again. And she said, oh, yeah. Let's go. We started packing up. Because I was like, I don't play that. No, I don't play this. I'm a scary little soul. I don't play with spirits, none of that stuff. Like, no, Like my sister said, it's not even Halloween. I'm not doing it. So we pack up the car. Like, not the car. We pack up the room. I'm getting everything. I said, make sure y'all get everything. I'm not coming back. I refuse to come back. If you forget something, forget about it. Because I'm not coming back to this hotel. I refuse. So, like I told y'all earlier, there was a bypass, right? So there was a whole lot of trash under it. There were people living under there. I'm like, okay, yeah, this ain't it. So, we pack up the room. We go downstairs. We take the key downstairs. I take the key downstairs. I'll tell them, hey, y'all can go ahead and go to the car. When I get down there, that other family that was down there earlier, still down there. I hand that lady at the front desk that key. I said, y'all can have this. And she was like, why? I said, I don't play with nothing that's haunted, nothing like that. I don't play that. Y'all can have this hotel. And she's like, okay. Like, she had an attitude that I was checking out. Ma'am, did you see what you just told that guest and you told, and I'm another guest here, and you're telling me that this hotel is haunted? I'm gone. So I give her the key, and she's like, well, since you booked the booking.com, you're going to have to go online and get your money back. I said, at this point, I don't care about that money. All I care about is getting me and my kids and my sister out of here. So I give her that. I said, I don't care. I walk out, and as I'm walking out, the other family that was still down there, the lady was like, you leaving? I said, yeah, I'm leaving. I said, they can have this. I said, I don't do this type of stuff. And she was like, you know what? I think we about to go too. I guess that's all she needed was an extra push to leave, because once I walked out, Her whole family walked out too. So I get to the car. I'm packing the car up. And at first we were just gonna go stay with my sister. So that was the initial plan. We started heading, we get in the car, we're heading to my sister's house. On the way to my sister's house, two of my daughters are asking, why are we going home? Why are we leaving? I'm gonna stay at the hotel. Why are we leaving? So I explained to them, I was like, look, I felt like our life was in danger. I know some of y'all go like, girl, you over exaggerating. No, I ain't. So once I fully explained it to them in a way that they would understand, because mind you, they're only 8 and 11. So once I fully explained it to them and they understood, they was like, oh, okay. So then we're heading to my sister's house. And then they're like, can we just go home? And I'm like, y'all want to go all the way back home? They was like, yeah. By that time, I was already scared. I was spooked for the night. I had a whole breakdown in the car. I just started crying because I was like, I felt like I, as a parent, did something wrong by taking my kids to this hotel and not knowing the background of it. If something could have happened to me and my kids, like I was so scared. Excuse me, y'all. Like I was so scared. And I didn't like that feeling. So I was like, yeah, we can go home. We can go home. So I get to my sister's house because one, those back streets to my sister's house were dark. I mean, they were dark. So I follow her all the way to her house. We get to her house. I don't park directly by her, but she could tell that, oh yeah, she ain't staying. So I get out the car. I go over there and tell her, look, hey, the girls want to go home. She was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, they want to go home. Mind you, I was not against it because I really wanted to go home as well. I didn't want to stay at my sister's house for real. I mean, yes, I was tired and I wanted to go to sleep, but I was like, I knew I wasn't going to get no sleep at that hotel or my sister's house. So anyway, I get back in the car. I tell my sister, you know, we'll see her later or whatever. And I was like, I'll just drive back up tomorrow, which would have been Saturday. I was like, I'll just drive back up tomorrow. She was like, okay. So I let my mom know what's going on. My mom and my dad know what's going on. And I was like, but you know it's late. Like, by this time it's almost 11. They're like, it's late. You sure you want to do that? I was like, yeah. I'm going home. My girls want to go home. I'm going home. So, start on our journey to the house. And everybody was up, you know, at first, you know, cool. And my daughter started telling me that she noticed a few things at the hotel as well. And as I started thinking back on it, it explained why once she went to that bathroom and came back and sat on that bed, she never moved again. I mean, she never got back up. So she was a little uneasy as well. My daughter, my baby, my 1-year-old, she was super tired. But for some reason, that little girl would not lay down in that hotel. Like, she would not go to sleep. Like, she was super tired, but she would just not go to sleep. She was just, I knew something was off with the vibe in the entire room. So I finally get home, and because, you know, like the last 40 minutes of the ride, I was on the phone with my sister. Because one, that highway was black, baby. It was nobody on there but me going southbound. Nobody else on that road but me. So I called my sister, because by this time my kids had fell asleep. I called my sister and I talked to her the rest of the way home. I get home and then someone said, Kim, go look at the reviews for that hotel. The reviews for that hotel were horrible. And a lot of them were very recent. So I'm saying there were people at breakfast who weren't even guests at that hotel. Goes back to the people under the bridge. You offer free breakfast, some people under the bridge come right on in and get breakfast. The elevator is super slow, and it was. Then there was one that got me. It said the elevator was super slow, but it also stopped on floors that nobody was even on. Child, nah, that ain't it. I was like, okay, let me keep looking. I scrolled some more. There was a lot of people complaining about the rooms, like parts of the room that I noticed that could use some updating, or the holes in the walls that are not covering, or they have like slight coverings on them, but it's not really covering anything. So I was like, yeah, I should have never stayed here or took my kids there to start with. So yeah. Me and my sister were on the phone for a good little minute after that, reading the reviews and everything. And my dad, he had told my mom, because she texted me, I was like, your dad said, I bet you're gonna have a nice video for YouTube after this, aren't you? Sure did. So that was my weekend. Now, at first I wasn't gonna say what hotel it was, but me personally, at this point I don't care, because I'll never stay at another one again, because that was the second time I stayed at this brand at this hotel in particular. And if both of them were haunted, they all gotta be. And I'm not going to another one. The hotel I stayed at was called Country Inn and Suites. And I'll never do it again. I think this one was, yeah, it was Country Inn and Suites, but this was called Country Inn and Suites by Radisson. I'll never stay at another one. Ever again. Because the vibes I got out of there was not it. It was not welcoming. It was not a good thing. Especially being there by yourself with a bunch of with all girls. I have 4 daughters, y'all. That was not it for me. So yeah, that was my weekend in a nutshell. Your girl learned her lesson. Make sure you check the reviews thoroughly before you book. But you know how some companies do. When you leave a bad review, they go and delete the bad ones and leave all the good ones. Or attempt to leave all the good ones on there. Ain't wasn't no good ones on there. None, unless that was computer made. So yeah, that was my weekend. I'm still sitting here like, what in the world? Because when I was telling the family about it, they were like, wow, okay. So that ruined it for me. So I had to come home, cancel my room, come home, waiting for my refund, y'all. Cancel my room, and then turn around and drive right back up the next day for the next family function. So when I tell y'all my weekend was very eventful, it was. Because when I went back up, I was going back up there Saturday, I was like, I'm going to book another room. Not there, not same city. These folks booked my room for the wrong days. So once again, had to cancel that one and drive all the way back home. again. No, I did not go back up there on Sunday. I did not go back. Because I was like, I'm not about to hit this road again for a third time. Not doing it. So, thank y'all for listening to my story. I hope y'all learned something from it. Check your reviews before you book. I wish I would have did that. Of course, I didn't. I regret it now. I really do. Well, your peanuts busting, y'all. But yeah. Thank y'all for listening to my video. I'll get over it eventually. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with any and everyone. Family, friends, your mama, your sister, your brother, whoever may want to listen. Just share it. So, with that being said, follow me on my social media. On Instagram, Naturallykimmie. I do not have a Facebook for my YouTube, for my subscribers. I don't have one. I don't have a TikTok for you guys either. I'm thinking about making one for y'all. But yeah, like I would really post on it. But hey, we'll see. Until then, peace out, y'all.